We had a fairly active night last night. Some of that rain, some thunder, lightning making its way through, but there's still a lot to come. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center does have our entire region blanketed in some type of advisory. Towards our south, so over parts of the Boot Hill, western Kentucky, Tennessee, seeing that enhanced threat. So that's a 3 out of 5. Surrounding areas under that 2, a slight or a marginal threat. Some of the areas included in that enhanced threat extends all the way up to Massac County in southern Illinois as well. Some of those cities, including Kennett, all the way over towards Mayfield, Paducah, Sikeston as well. So really important to be weather aware in the next couple of hours and into this evening as we're tracking the rest of the system as it continues to move through. Temperatures fairly mild, somewhere in the 40s and 50s. We have 45 for Sparta, Carbondale, Perryville right at 50. Poplar Bluff a bit warmer. Traffic that we do see is moving fairly steadily, even with that rain coming down. Carbondale seeing a decent amount of rain right now. As far as radar goes, we're seeing a little bit of a lull for parts of southern Illinois and western Kentucky. Some of those morning showers starting to move off into the central portion of Kentucky. We're already seeing that next round slowly moving in with this system. Some of that heavier rain right now over areas like Piedmont heading towards Advance and Sikeston as well. Van Buren just saw some pretty heavy rain, lightning associated with this as well, but still waiting for some of that more severe weather as that low pressure continues to move off to the east. We've got this warm front still kind of stalling over us. It's been a pretty big rainmaker, but as that system continues to move, we'll see even more rain tonight. We do have that flood watch still in place until tomorrow morning for the entire region. It extends all the way towards Ohio from around Texas as well. So still a lot of rain to come. We've picked up 1 to 2 inches, especially along our northern counties, but we are expecting some more tonight. As far as today goes, we're just tracking that rain, pretty high flooding risk and severe storms in the next couple of hours. For our Saturday weekend, really not looking too bad. We have some gradient winds in place, so pretty windy for the first half of the day, but mild nonetheless. For Sunday, much nicer, finally getting some dry time and some calmer conditions, but definitely not going to see that in the next couple of hours. The rain continues to sit with us as that front also stays with us. By about 5 o'clock, we start to see that low begin to move off towards our region, and that's when we can see some of this more severe weather. We see some of that bowing in the radar. That can indicate some of those more stronger storms by 8 o'clock, and then by 9, more widespread. Most of SEMO starting to get out of it at least quickly, pretty much by 11 o'clock. After midnight, it's moved through here. We have that front already shifting through, but before then, really got to keep an eye on where that is as far as those storms go. For tomorrow morning, mid-morning, much nicer. A couple of those clouds staying with us. Pretty windy as well. Temperatures fairly mild for the time of year, somewhere in the low 50s. Biggest threat that we're watching still is flooding. We had a lot of rain last night. We still expect a lot of more rain to come. Winds also going to be an issue. Can't completely rule out the possibility of a brief tornado, even some hail, but really keeping an eye on this flooding threat. As far as today goes, it's shifted a bit more to our southeast over parts of western Kentucky down through the Boot Hill of SEMO. Multiple flash flooding is possible, some significant flooding as well, and that's a high risk. So a 3 out of 4. 2 to 3 inches still possible for part of the region, including areas like Murray over towards Paducah, Cape Girardeau as well, 1 to 2 in our northern counties. So really important to have the Storm Track 3 up. We've already seen that flood watch. If we do get any more watches or warnings, it's great to have that, especially since it's going to happen later in the day. As far as temperatures go today, we'll be climbing up close to 60 degrees and staying with that pattern for our Saturday. By Sunday in the mid 60s, and we finally get some dry time, which will be much needed after today. We see that next system come through towards the end of next week, but really important to be weather aware as far as today goes.
Absolutely. You know, not only will you guys be here, the Storm Track 3 team, but we have crews, you know, out right now keeping an eye on the roads, and we'll be here throughout the evening. So, All right, sounds good. Thanks, Katie.